Coming to you live from the rinks in Oppog. You're listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League here on LI Sports Network. Ryan Brannigan joined alongside Magnus Healy and our cameraman Wally Mitchell, taking you through this second of 3 games tonight here on the South Rink. And we've got ourselves a good one at the JV level. St. Anthony JV Gold taking on Northport Huntington. And Northport Huntington still in search of win number 1. They come into the game with a record of 0-2. Dropped their first game of the year to East Islip 7-3, in a game in which East Islip kind of pulled away at the end. And then their second 6-3 loss to KPC. And that game as well was pretty close up until the end, where KPC pulled away. Meanwhile, other side of the ice, status quo for St. Anthony as they win 5-4 over Sachem to start the season, and then a dominant 6-0 win against Smithtown Hauppauge JV Blue, who we just saw, I believe it was on Saturday night, a game in which they got their first win. So St. Anthony, again, they have looked as good as ever. It's one of their 2 JV teams. That's how stacked they are. Magnus, welcome aboard. How are we feeling heading into this game between 2 teams geographically? They're pretty close together.
Yeah, certainly not far. Northport and Huntington, 2 pretty close towns. But this St. Anthony's team is stacked from top to bottom. When you have the ability to have 2 different JV teams, it just says the amount of depth that you have on your squad. And it's going to be a testament, this Northport Huntington squad searching for this first win, and it'd be lovely to get it against a team like St. Anthony's, who won in dominating fashion 6-0 over a very talented Smithtown Hauppauge program. They're notorious for being one of the top, even at the varsity level and the lower levels as well. You've got guys scoring from all different ends on St. Anthony's. Leading on goals for St. Anthony's, Reeve Chero, number 44, with 3 on the season thus far, and as well looking to see him make an impact. And it's about Northport being able to get up and down the ice, make impacts, be good in transition, have some opportunities to clear when St. Anthony's is threatening, and attempting to keep the puck out of harm's way tonight.
Yeah, and you mentioned it. You mentioned Reeve Chero. It's truly the depth of St. Anthony's that separates them with already of their about 14 forward and defensive players they have on the roster. 11 have recorded a point. On the other end of the ice for Northport Huntington, it's a team that does rely a bit as well on their depth, but some notable names in particular: Nick Ganesi, Peter Mikowski, and Nicholas Algieri on defense. Some players to look out for, as well as Jacob Siek, who we didn't see play in their last game, that 6-3 loss to KPC. Just a 1 game, 1 goal on the year. Not listed as injured, so we'll see if Siek makes a return to the lineup here tonight. And of course, we got to talk about the goaltenders in this matchup. And for Northport Huntington, it'll be number 31, Rex Mascotti, as he goes between the pipes. And for St. Anthony JV Gold, between the pipes, that'll be number 33, Peter Frankaitis. Saw him make his season debut in the Sachem game, as we are underway between St. A's and Northport Huntington. Early possession for the Tigers. They have it behind Frankaitis. Try to work it up from in front of the net. This is a game taking place between 2 teams that don't believe in having names on the back of their jerseys. And much like the New York Yankees, you could say it's a respect or whatever thing, but however, in my opinion, it just makes my job that much harder. Magnus, is I have to fully rely on the numbers and not the names on the back, but nonetheless, here we go.
The white jerseys and with the ice as well, it makes it even more confusing, but we persevere.
Oh, that we do. Ganesi chips it ahead, rolls onto the stick. That is Leighton Veith, one of those players who has not recorded a point but is a dominant force defensively for the Friars. Puck along the near wall, comes behind the net in Frankaitis. Mikowski has a swing at it, pulled up to the point. Algieri, wrist shot, and a left pad save, actually getting the stick in there to stop that one was Frankaitis. Good start, though, to the game for Northport Huntington. They've generated a couple of shots and have had the better of the possession in the opening about 43 seconds, or 53 seconds here in the first period.
Yes, certainly, as we get some line changes for both sides, but it's good to see from an 0-2 team that you're able to put this much pressure on the force that St. Anthony's have. You know, keep them on their toes early.
To the blue line, and it's a long shot that doesn't get through an absolute cluster of players out in front, and ultimately covered up by the glove of Frankaitis. Gotta love that setup as well. Not only we mentioned the Breast Cancer Awareness Month, it is October, so a lot of pink getting shown throughout the uniforms of the players. Got the pink stick tape job for Frankaitis. And how about those pads? The glove and the blocker, that leather brown is just gorgeous in my opinion. Big hit on the far end of the ice. Welter brings it, it's Muller, brings it across. There's a shot chance, and Mascotti had to be alert to make the stop. Might have went off the side of the net. Held in at the blue line by Catazone. Catazone trying to work it down low. Hit the stick that time of Henderson. Still out in front, chance loose, scramble is on, and where's the puck? It's in the back of the net. Friars score off that hosh-posh, and Kyle up in front. Gonna need to take another look. Who scored? Said one of the parents to my left. I don't know.
So many sticks, bodies in front of the crease.
I think I got it. I think I got the goal scorer, Liam Becker.
As well, yeah, number 9.
Number 9.
In there. Picking up a goal for St. Anthony's as Anthony Catazone will pick up the assist, as there were just so many bodies down at the crease. St. Anthony's putting a ton of pressure on this Northport defense in the offensive zone, and it results in their first goal of the day.
Yeah, that was quite the quagmire as Tigers bank one to center. Friars reset, charge into the zone. Yeah, it was Schechter. A good defensive play made by Driscoll, and Fasaro will chip it all the way down for the Tigers. In behind Frankaitis. Puck rolls to the far corner. Poked up the far wall, taken over by Northport Huntington, rolled back down low. A 1-0 Friars, as we're a little over 2 minutes, 30 seconds into the game. Now rush up the ice, this time for Veith. Pass across, doesn't connect. Was trying to get Reeve Chero on the left wing side. Chero, a rip save, rebound. Flung that one wide on the far side. To the line, not out. Held in by DeAndrea. Long shot, kicks to the near corner. Check delivered by Lipiello. He hits the ice. Veith has it now, walks the line, low shot, and a right pad stop made by Mascotti. Once again, Veith walks, wrist shot, blocker save made by Mascotti. And Matarese sent, who is that? Looks to be Gasparic into the boards. Gonna get called for a penalty there, and the Friars go to the game's first power play.
Yes, certainly. As we see St. Anthony's with so much pressure on this offensive zone, Northport's kind of just trying to keep up. St. Anthony's sending the puck board to board here, playing a lot of lateral hockey thus far, trying to create some opportunities, get some guys open in the center, and try to create another scoring opportunity, as they'll have a chance here on the power play.
Liam Matarese off. The penalty is not loaded yet. Roughing or boarding, take your pick. Maybe cross-checking as well. Early clear for the Tigers, much needed.
Elbowing.
Elbowing, there you go. Here's Catazone with the zone entry, pokes it behind. Morabito gets a touch on it, but ultimately fired out of the zone by Algieri.
Yeah, that's what you want to see if you're Northport, you know, with the amount of pressure that St. Anthony's was putting on you, and the one goal thus far, being able to clear it early and often and try to avoid anything that St. Anthony's can get going with their ability to pass it up and down the ice.
Aggressive forecheck on the penalty kill provided by Ganesi, as the puck sent by Engelhardt past Mikowski into the O-zone for the Friars. They'll rim it around the boards. Jerry first there. Engelhardt lays into him. Muller backing up and cleared. Passed. Stick of Catazone all the way down. Frankaitis out to play it. Just 52 seconds left on the power play for the Friars. That has not generated much. Player goes to the ice right off of Engelhardt. Engelhardt trying to shake that one off. Does. Stays out on the ice to the front of the net where it's sent all the way down. And that doing the sending, Jack Fernandez.
As Engelhardt wore that one off of the quad, that's going to be a stinger, leave a bruise or mark in the morning. But it's encouraging. A very good penalty kill from the Northport Huntington Tigers. It's encouraging. You know, St. Anthony's already had one goal on the board with only 5 minutes gone by in this first period. You want to see early that you have the ability to stop such a high-powered offense, especially shorthanded like they have been, but nonetheless looking to get something going in the ozone.
Absolutely, Magnus, as that puck rolls on to Frankaitis. Just 25 seconds left now on the power play for the Friars. It's been an excellent job of penalty killing thus far for Northport Huntington. Not quite out of the woods yet. 16 seconds more power play time. Coming into the zone on the left wing side was Monteleone. And a big hit taken by Reeve Charo. He stays up on his feet, though, showing off his power. Ferraro trying to get one through. Does. Save made Mascotti. He covers up, but another penalty upcoming, and it's going to go against Northport Huntington. So one penalty killed, another one set to begin.
Yeah, it took the words right out of my mouth. I was about to praise Northport Huntington for their amazing penalty kill, and now they have a chance to breathe, and we go right back to it.
Now Ronan Driscoll will go off. I think it was cross-checking, but we'll get official updates soon. Face-off to the left of Mascotti. Won by Northport Huntington. Critical win, but Quinn unable to clear. The Friars retake control. However, Mattery strips it from the Friar to gain control. Here's Muller. Not out of the zone. Good keep. And again, keeping it in, holding the penalty against Driscoll. And Monteleone. That pass across, blocked by Quinn. Quinn hustling in after it. Putting a lot of pressure on Monteleone, who fires it up the far wall to a teammate, and the Friars can clear. Muller over the line, onside, trying to dangle one by Cormac Driscoll, who went down. It is Muller in the corner. Now to the far side, takes a shot, blocked by Quinn, right on the stick of Monteleone. Wrist shot blocked again, this time by Cormac Driscoll. As Junkins fires it up the near wall. Still not out of the zone. They hold in along wrister. Monteleone finds its way into the glove of Rex Mascotti. So more chances this power play for the Friars, but Rex Mascotti getting to show his penalty killing prowess in between the pipes.
Certainly, I think the Northport Huntington squad has played phenomenal defense in the center here, trying to clear it to the boards side to side. Again, I say playing lateral hockey here. 57 seconds to go on the power play. And it's going to be another good penalty kill for Northport Huntington, but now they need to try to get a power play of their own, try to generate some offense.
Well, 57 seconds left. Power play a little over halfway through for the Friars. Puck along the near wall. Vaith, D-to-D pass. Long wrist shot deflection save. Man, it was Morabito who got her stick in down low, and the puck finds its way by Veith and into the neutral zone. Leighton Veith gets around Henderson. Veith, speed into the O-zone. Good defensive play and clearance. That was Alexander Worrell coming up big.
Phenomenal job by Alexander Worrell in transition there. Good stick check to halt the St. Anthony's push as we see another one.
Good rush up the ice generated this time by Chero. Wraparound try is smothered by Rex Mascotti. Just 12 seconds left on the Friar penalty, or power play, I should say. 12 seconds left on the Northport Huntington penalty.
As it's been a penalty kill once again, the second one already in this first period, and start to question what the Northport Huntington squad can get going on offense, maybe when they get their power play of their own. Fired
all the way down. 2 seconds and one. Tigers penalty kill 2 for 2 to start this game. Obviously not an ideal start, being shorthanded twice, but they have passed both tests. They do find themselves down 1-0. Here's Engelhardt for the Friars, trying to extend that 1-goal lead. Has the puck taken off his stick, sent down the ice. Veith tried to play it, so no icing. Veith. A little backhand pass picked up with speed into the zone. That is a player. That's Becker, the goal scorer. Engelhardt and Chero working down low. 2-on-2 battle beneath the goal line to the left of Moscati. Engelhardt, one-time shot was blocked. Becker tried to dangle, but a nice play made by Ronan Driscoll. And it's sent out of the zone. Worrell has it in his skates, looking for it, poked by him, and now the Friars can once again come out of the zone. Led by Cooper Ferrara. Rister over the net. On the near wall, Worrell. And flipped out of the zone. It'll roll down and become an icing against, against Northport Huntington, who we've seen generate some offense to start this game, but those power plays have kind of zapped their momentum, haven't they, Magnus?
Yes, certainly. They've been playing great job in transition. We've seen guys like Worrell get back there, as well as Cohen play really good job of getting back in transition and preventing St. Anthony's from getting near the crease. But it's about...
They score! Catazone, a wrister, harmlessly looking enough from the near blue line, gets through. It beats Moscati.
Right off the face-off. St. Anthony's a good possession. It looks like Northport went to clear it as it goes through the skates of Becker and finds the Friar stick and goes top left past Moscati to extend this Friars lead to 2.
It beat him blocker side, short side there. I don't know if Moscati just didn't anticipate the shot or just one of those wish you had him back, but either way, 2-0 St. Anne's. And Northport Huntington, if they have a response in, now would be a great time. Fasaro unable to control on the far wall, but clogging up the neutral zone pretty well at the moment are the Tigers. As you mentioned, Magnus, the transition game for the Friars has not been too fruitful.
That's certainly the aspect where Northport has beat them, but it's down low in the offensive zone where the Friars have certainly capitalized. In the opportunities, the rare ones, it seems, that they get the chance to put pressure on Northport, they certainly take advantage of it, as the two assistmen there were Liam Becker and Nicholas Mueller on that Catazone goal.
Just a simple play. Just throw it on goal. Worked out. Here's a shot toward the net. It got blocked by Veith, who ushers the puck to a teammate, chips it out of the zone. Delayed penalty against the Friars this time, so you alluded to it. Would the Northport Huntington Tigers need a power play of their own to get going? Well, they'll get one here, as to the box goes Reeve Chero.
Yeah, certainly. This will be a period-setting kind of power play here. It'll kind of tell the momentum that Northport can build. You finally are playing up a man, as St. Anthony's will be shorthanded during this power play. And now it's time to take advantage. You're starting off in the offensive zone as well. Play laterally. Kind of adopt the strategy that you're seeing from the Friars. Try to get it around, maybe up at the blue line. Some wristers. You got some powerful guys. It's about creating opportunities up top and down low that St. Anthony's has done so well.
So power play for Northport Huntington. A cross check to Reeve Chero. Sends him off. Some bench lineup switching from Northport Huntington, creating the delay there. It's a stalemate of a face-off that eventually is dug free for the Friars, and taking a couple of hits there to make a play. That was Griffin Gasparic. Here's Morabito. She takes a tumble to the ice. Gets up, and the puck back on her stick. Reverses to the other side, and now finally Tigers could break out with Ganesi. Ganesi met by Gasparic. The two go tumbling down in the corner. Really, it was Ganesi, who took the brunt of that check, kept in by Matarese. Matarese pauses, sends a cross, swing and a miss. Fernandez picks it back up. Nice little move, and the wrister flashes wide to the left of Frankaitis in the corner. Tigers trying to control to the line, not out, held in Matarese. Wrist shot through traffic, deflected and wide. Worrell, pass intercepted and skated to center. That is Gasparic. Good step up made by Fernandez to get it away from Gasparic, and now Northport Huntington reset, just 40 seconds to go on the power play.
Yeah, you see at the blue line there, they get the opportunity with Fernandez on the one-timer. He obviously can't connect, but it's that I had mentioned, the opportunities up top that you need to create to get the chance to get yourself on the board here with 3 minutes to go in the first period.
Yeah, 3:47 left here, first period. 31 seconds remain on the power play to Northport Huntington. You alluded to it, that there's some room at the top of the zone with the points, and to try to take advantage again. Fernandez had that shot teed up, just couldn't get it. And then Matarese did get a shot through that deflected a few times. Probably going to take a goal like that to beat attendee like Frankaitis. As Moscati plays it into the corner, but an aggressive Liam Becker is the first on it. Fires it around the wall to the near side. Lippiello trying to push it ahead. Engelhardt was in the way, and now Catazone to play it. Quinn forechecking, and it's fired out of the zone by the Friars with 3 seconds left, 2-1. And Northport Huntington 0 for 1 on the power play tonight. Neither team has connected with the man advantage. Here is Chero. Chero around the net, stopped by the right pad of Moscati. To the line, Catazone, deflection, and Augeri prevents it from getting on goal. And a nice outlet pass to Quinn, 2-on-1 developing. Quinn, wrist shot from the far circle, flipped up on him way over the net. And now Friars come back the other way. Chero all by himself in the corner, knocks down. That's Cormac Driscoll. Shot goes wide. Another shot sticked away by Moscati. Driscoll back up. Will get to it first. It backhands out of the zone. Lippiello forechecking Catazone. Catazone evading. Passes over. Stretch pass. Misfires, but no icing called. I'm surprised. I thought that was an icing against the Friars. Meanwhile, still in the Tiger zone, spinorama at the blue line from Becker, who will bank it to Coletti. Coletti toward the net and sticked away by Moscati. That could have been dangerous. Backdoor. They had a player set up. Meanwhile, it's Matarese. Exiting the zone for Northport Huntington. Doesn't get too far before it's turned back over to the Friars. Back and forth they go, 2-0 Friars lead. Catazone, wrist shot save made by Moscati, and then a little snow shower from Catazone as he was aggressively charging towards Moscati after taking that shot. Hit the brakes, sprayed them with snow, and obviously that's one of those unwritten rules of hockey.
Yeah, I'm going a little bit back in time here, but there's so much action going back and forth with this Friars squad that I didn't get the chance to highlight Moscati's amazing awareness with the Friars going behind the net there and having the ability to sense kind of where that puck was going. But 2 great saves within 5 minutes for Moscati as he adds to another one.
There's another one from Moscati as he denies Engelhardt. Or is that Muller? 87 or 97? Challenge to see. It's Muller, 97.
Last names would be helpful, but...
Yeah, well, who needs those? Meanwhile, that is behind the net. Ronan Driscoll to the line, not out. Fusaro unable to chip it past Gasparic, who sends it down the far wall. Fusaro again with the puck. Backhanded along by Cohen, not out. Judkins will find Fusaro, who backhands it to the line, where it once again gets held in by Gasparic. Gasparic checked by Fernandez, and that frees Fusaro to chip it in. Fusaro, a little dump and chase. First on it. Backhands to the front of the net, where it's promptly intercepted by Muller. And Nicholas Muller gets going the other way. Spins out of a couple of checks. Shot from Monteleone deflects wide. Fasaro along the near far wall, banking one down. Engelhardt will get to it and play it with just 14 seconds to go here in the first period. The Friars leading Northport Huntington by a score of 2-0. Into the neutral zone, just 4 seconds left. And a long shot before the buzzer hits, goes wide to the right of Frankaitis. That'll do it for the first. It was a quick goal that got things started from Liam Becker at 13-14 from Anthony Catazone. And then Catazone, a fluker. Little wrister from the near blue line that beat Moscati from Becker and Muller. That your first period scoring. And Magnus, quick thoughts before we head to break.
Yes, certainly. I think the highlight for St. Anthony's, as I will mention, probably the rest of this game, has been their transitional play. We've seen Becker, he skates up the ice extremely quick, and their ability to win faceoffs and create these opportunities while in the offensive zone has been giving them a great advantage over this Tiger squad, but I don't think it's over quite yet. We're heading into the second period, and I think certainly they'll have the ability to create scores. We saw 2 great penalty kills, but more power plays soon to come.
Well said. More to come as the second period on its way. You're listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League on LI Sports Network. Welcome back to the Rinks and Oppog. You're listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League here on LI Sports Network. Ryan Brannigan, Magnus Healy, and our cameraman Walter Mitchell. As a quick shot to start the second frame for the Friars is stopped by Moscati. It's a 2-0 game, but it's been a pretty evenly matched first period, I would say. What about you, Magnus?
Yes, certainly. I think time of possession has been kind of split here. Obviously, St. Anthony's with the 2 goals, but Northport firing some shots back on their own. Certainly not out of this fight.
Not in the slightest. Long shot from Jerry. Goes wide to the right of Frankaitis. Blocker side. Mataris holds his blue line and sends it right back into the Friar zone. Becker being watched carefully by Mikowski. And now Gnisi finishes his check on Becker. Along the far wall, banked to the line, nearly deflected. Good chance for Gnisi there. Where's the A for the Tigers? Meanwhile, other way, it's Engelhardt. Hits the brakes, looking. Engelhardt will just send it around the wall. Hoping for a teammate. Engelhardt now intervening himself. Chipped along to the blue line and out of the zone for the Tigers. Worrell trying to hunt it down. Vaith playing it away from him. Still Worrell aggressive on the forecheck. Chero emerges with the puck. 13:30 left here in the second period, or just about, as the Friars ice the puck. Good opening shift, I'd say, for Northport Huntington there.
Certainly you see a lot more possession there, putting some pressure on Frankaitis. Not a lot of shots, but nonetheless, you're in the offensive zone, which is what you want to see. It's a good sign. Now it's about facilitating the puck, getting it laterally across the ice here, trying to create some guys in the center, some open opportunities at some wristers and one-timers.
Cormac Driscoll along the near wall, holds in for the moment. Catazone. So that pass intercepted by Quinn, who marches to the net, fires it just wide. Good play, though, by Chris Quinn. Fernandez holds in at the near point. Taken back, however, by the Friars, and another risky pass that nearly gets intercepted. Taken back out the other way. Fernandez trying to dump it in. It was stopped by a host of Friars. Still, they battle for it. Grayson Henderson delivers a check down low. Fernandez back after it. Blind pass intercepted. Taken back the other way by Jake DeAndrea, but he only can get so far before he's turned away. And Catazone, goal and an assist thus far, sends in for the Friars. Nice play by Chero. Chero looking for somewhere to go. Reeve Chero knocked away. Nice play made by Fasaro. And wow, big hit delivered by Reeve Chero. And taking the brunt of that damage, I believe that was Matthew Cohen. Man.
Some frustrated coaches and parents should have maybe gotten a penalty there, but I think I'm seeing some promising transitional play from the Tigers this far.
Ferrara in the far corner, challenged by Judkins. Pass blocked. Along the wall, Fasaro picks up with it, taking off. Up the ice, can they hit him? They can. Lippiello, no! Offside, and the parents to my left groan in disagreement.
A foot maybe. Just the difference there, but a great job optioning pass there. I couldn't quite connect before the offsides, but I will continue to say Northport needs to up their transitional game, which they've done thus far in the second period, matching St. Anthony's with their pace of play. St. Anthony's, they run a very quick style of play. They keep it going quick up and down the ice, and it kind of tires out opposing squads who might not be used to it, but Northport adjusting well.
Ferrara into the zone, takes a wrist shot, blocked. Getting in the way of it was Driscoll. Ronan kicks to the near part of the ice. Ferrara batted along and now out of the zone. Vaith on it for St. Anthony. His pass briefly intercepted by Ganesi, but immediately off his stick and now back into the Tigers' end of the ice. 10:55 left here in the second period. 2-0. St. Anne's leading Northport Huntington here in this JV bout. Gasparic flips in. Quick transition. Worrell comes together with Muller. Did two Friars really need 87 and 97? It's causing me fits. Anyway, Matteries. And who's going to get the puck? It eventually is Gasparic. Gasparic working it down low, and there's just not a lot of room out there. Again, a lot of credit to this Northport Huntington defense and the Friars defense. Both have really suffocated the other team in their respective zones, offensive zones. Vaith spinning out of harm's way being Alexander Worrell, and then the stick of Frankaitis got involved as well briefly. But again, the forecheck, relentless at the moment from the Tigers. Skating it free, finally, is Vaith. Vaith working on Matteries, gets around him, centering pass, scores! It found its way through Moscati. It took the scenic route. I think it hopped, skipped, and jumped a bit. It's 3-0 Friars. There's your celebration.
Just missed it. That's my apologies. Misclicked there, but it was a great goal, great centering bid, and St. Anthony's will now extend their lead. I look maybe to get an opportunity. My apologies.
No, Magnus, it's fine. You're good. See, the people watching at home have this really cool thing they could do, which is rewind the video and then can watch it as much as they want. They even, I believe, this might be when it's posted. Wow, big hit. Quinn drills Coletti from behind. Well, Coletti's blind side. It wasn't a check from behind type hit. Separated him from the puck. Tigers take it back. They trail by 3 now. And, I mean, 2 of the 3 goals really kind of unfortunate, as some weird bounces. A good centering pass, though, as you mentioned, Magnus. Now a transition play for DeAndrea. He's in. A breakaway. DeAndrea broken up from behind by Judkins, who slid into his own goal. But what a play made by the Northport Huntington defenseman.
That's the play that the type of play that I had been wanting to see from the Tigers all night in transition. A great job there by Judkins to get back and save what would have been a possible score.
He turned on the Jets to come back to make that play. They're still not out of the woods yet, though, as the puck in the defensive end for Northport Huntington. It's to the line. Catazone takes a hit there from Fernandez, and now just flubbing it out of the zone was Grayson Henderson. It will not have the juice for icing. Past the stick of Engelhardt, fanned on, and Engelhardt picks it back up. Finds DeAndrea to Muller. Muller, wrist shot, just wide. And deflected out of the zone by Northport Huntington, but turned right back over to the Friars, who say, all right, we'll take it right back and give it right back to you. So it's Algieri in the skates of Lippiello, but able to deflect it enough to prevent an icing. Gasparic hops on it first. Griffin Gasparic around for Engelhardt. Along the far wall, Engelhardt chips it out of the zone, only as far as Ronan Driscoll, who finds Algieri. Algieri taking a hit from Muller. And now Cohen can backhand to the line, not out. Again, Cohen off the boards and out of the zone, foot race. And Gasparic will win it. Griffin Gasparic steps in and lost the puck.
Yeah, a lot of physical checks I'm seeing from both sides between Worrell and Algieri. They're both looking like they've got like a shark that smells blood in the water. They're going for guys here, playing a very physical style of hockey.
That it has. It really has. As we see another hit here. Not too physical. Kind of a
bump into the boards.
Yeah, a little bump.
Keeping him honest, but I've seen Algieri kind of just hunting guys, it seems. I like the style that he's playing with, the aggressiveness.
Tigers ice the puck, 6:40 to go. They trail by 3 to St. Anthony. Becker from Veith was that last goal. So Liam Becker has had himself quite the night for St. Anne's, as he has 2 goals and an assist. Leighton Veith etching his name into the score sheet. For the first time this season, that assist his first point. Meanwhile, board battle. Friars win it. Wraparound shot by Chero is stopped in the butterfly position by Moscati. Pass ahead, Worrell. Worrell with Mikowski drifting ever so slightly offside. That's 2 offsides now that have stopped Northport Huntington odd man rushes. We'll have on a 2-on-2 still, with how suffocating the defense has been for the St. Anthony Friars. You'll take what you can get.
Yeah, you've got to be a little more conscious on transition to know where you are.
Yep.
You're costing yourself breakaway plays, as you mentioned. Not an odd man rush, but certainly lower numbers, better opportunity for you to get down.
Spinning Ganesi. What a chance. Sorry, Magnus. Go ahead.
No, but just the transitional game needs to be a little bit more cleaner and a little more conscious of where you're going, a little bit more quality passes, and you'll see success.
Becker. That you will. Becker will just backhand one out in front. Stick of Moscati got in the way. Out of the zone it goes. Becker to Veith. Ganesi forechecking. Now Mikowski. Mikowski rocking the pink skate laces. And there's going to be a penalty here. Who is the next question? And what? The final question.
Based on the emotion of St. Anthony's, I want to say St. Anthony's, but we will. Nope. I guessed wrong. Guessed wrong.
It's Alexander Worrell going to the box. So we know the who. I'll get you the what in just a moment. Feels like we're playing a game of Clue. All right, we got the person. Just need the weapon, I guess. Faceoff 1, Catazone. He's had himself a night. Roughing is the call, so there you go.
The physical play that I had mentioned, finally, he gets tagged for it.
Yeah, they really let a lot go. I think that they could have otherwise called, but I think it's been just fine.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy.
Let the boys play.
The boys are playing. Here's Ferrara. The blue line. Shot deflects up and over off a defensive stick in front, initiated by Ryan Schechter. So a minute 34 left on the power play for the Friars. They have a 3-0 lead, 5:07 to go. They're in the driver's seat, Magnus.
They are certainly, both on offense and defense. in any zone, it doesn't matter, any part of the sheet. St. Anthony seemingly has men there as they threaten at the crease again, but it's seemingly like Northport's not really getting any space, no separation from these St. Anthony's defensemen. I mean, Becker has been flying up and down the sheet. He's been getting his sticks in where he needs them. I think he needs to start to create some separation, play a little bit more physical, as we know they've been trying to, but something's going to click here.
Schechter, Catazone. They've been great on the penalty kill thus far, and there's your jinx. Wow. Right on cue, Catazone. Power play goal for the Friars. It's 4-0. Have yourself a night, Anthony Catazone. His second goal, third point.
As we look there, the second that puck gets to the center for this Friars squad, it's tough as he puts it top left. A beautiful shot there by Catazone to get his second goal of the night and extend this lead once again. And this Northport squad with some questions yet to be answered as far as what's going to work for them. But a lot of time left, still only second period.
That's Becker. Creating the turnover. Around the net goes Becker. Showcasing the speed you mentioned, Magnus. Vaith returns the pass to Becker. And I guess that was a shot. It goes wide. He had no angle.
Tossing up a prayer.
Yeah, somebody get Becker a protractor. No, I'm kidding, of course. Anyway, did you have one of those in school, Magnus?
Yeah. Back when I took geometry, we carry one of those around. Not my favorite subject, but.
Pass out of the zone. What is your favorite subject?
Whew. Can I say gym class?
Yeah, that's why he's got the headset on, folks. Lippiello centering feed, misfires, another chance. Cohen, puck available, still available. Who's gonna get it? Finally, the Friars and Morabito say enough of this and gain control. And now 2-on-1 developing with DeAndre streaking to the net. The shot though is taken and fired wide by Becker. Vaith cycling with it. I was fortunate enough to have a broadcast journalism class in high school, so that was my favorite subject.
Wow. Where did you go to high school?
I guess I can say, my team not being part of this, SCHSHL. I went to SCHSHL North.
That's interesting.
Yeah, one of the few high schools that have a station as offsides are the Friars. And so you're a junior. Mm-hmm. That is when I began my broadcasting career as well.
Yeah.
So you're on the right track. If LI Sports Network was it MSG Varsity was a thing back then. So I was part of that my freshman year. You made a face like, what is that exactly? Anyway, if LI Sports Network was a thing, that would be all over that. And it was a thing. I just didn't know about it. Ferrara. Shot glove save, snag there by Moscati. A nice little, well, you're a baseball guy. Magnus, what would you say about that glove save?
Yeah, it looked like a first baseman almost. Through traffic as well, little quick reflexes, throws the glove out there and says no to the Friars. But Moscati's played well. The scoreboard might not dictate that, but he's played composed. There's a lot of shots in traffic. It's hard to see through guys, especially when there's so much pressure that the Friars are putting on this Northport squad. We need to kind of counter this here throughout the second period.
Quinn nearly created a turnover, knocking it off the stick of Coletti. Instead, Coletti got it by him. Quinn back on it. Now Coletti once more. Wrist shot blocker save made Moscati. Ferrara to the blue line, wide. Cormac Driscoll over there. It's sent toward Moscati, and now on the other end of the ice. Ferrara battling Fernandez, or rather that's Algieri. And exiting the zone. Northport Huntington, though without the puck, turned back the other way by the Friars with a 4-0 lead. Fluttered across everyone, and Catazone will reset.
Yeah, that's one thing the St. Anthony's Friars squad is doing a very good job, headed by Catazone. They're getting the puck back in their own territory and resetting and kind of seeing things out and letting opportunities create themselves rather than forcing them like the Huntington squad.
And there's a forced opportunity articulated perfectly there, exactly. And they had a simple pass there to get it to Quinn. You didn't have to put too much on it as he was streaking out of the zone. Instead, you maybe go for more of a home run shot to Quinn, where you didn't necessarily need that, but
give your guys a chance to get down the sheet with you. Let them catch up and maybe hunt back at the blue line there and wait for things to develop.
Easier said than done, though, when you're hemmed into your own zone for long stretches. Here's a shot by Gasparic, never got through. Banked out of the zone, Mikowski and Monteleone reversing away from Mikowski. Now Worrell joining the forecheck efforts. And finally Ganesi, but the puck gets by each and every one of them onto the stick of Muller. Muller, good stick from Matarese, breaks up that chance, and now fired and banked ahead. It will go on goal, so we'll not have an icing here as Mikowski bears down on Frankaitis, whose name I have not called in quite some time.
Yes, certainly. This Friars squad has done a great job of making excuse me, Frankaitis' life very easy today. Kept it out of their defensive zone and done a great job of clearing thus far. Northport hoping to change that script, though.
Worrell has been prominent in the forecheck game throughout this game. Going to work down low with Mikowski. Once again, Worrell puts it out in front and nearly getting a piece of that puck for the best opportunity in quite some time for Northport Huntington was Ganesi. Meanwhile, here's Engelhardt. His backhand pass across does not find anybody. They work it down low with 40 to play in the period. Save made by the right pad of Moscati. Ganesi laying into Engelhardt. Gasparic spinning one to Becker, who banks it back down low for Engelhardt. And now finally, Northport Huntington can clear, and hoping to get a pass was Mikowski, but Worrell out of gas, unable to get it to him. Muller accelerating in his own end, getting around a few Tigers. Here goes. Oh, but he's offside, and that's from the bench area there. Unfortunate offside, stops a great Muller rush up the ice.
Yeah, unfortunate for the Friars, but a break with not a lot of time left in the second period for this Tiger squad. You've got to figure it out here. The transition game, it's a 4-0 game here, but the St. Anthony's ability to be able to get back, and even when they're in their offensive zone, despite them not being threatening, near the crease, there's still so many guys, and the puck's going all over the place.
So 2 more goals in that period for the Friars. They score 2 back in the first. It's 4-0 St. Anne's over Northport Huntington at the conclusion of 2 periods. We saw a 3-0 third period comeback for ESM just a couple nights ago. Will we see a 4-goal comeback in the third period tonight? That remains to be seen. You're listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League on LI Sports Network. Ryan Brannigan, Magnus Healy will be back for the third right after this. Welcome back to the Rinks and Hop Hog. You're listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League here on LI Sports Network. Ryan Brannigan, Magnus Healy, our cameraman Wally Mitchell, all joining you for this third period between St. Anthony and Northport Huntington. It's 4-0 St. Anne's. What does Northport Huntington need to do in this third period, Magnus, to try to claw back into this one?
Match the pace of this Friars team. I've kind of sound like a broken record with the amount of times I've mentioned the transition game for the Tigers, but it's been a crucial one. St. Anthony's flies up and down this sheet, and it seems like they're almost tiring themselves out, are the Tigers trying to compete with this. But they need to kind of let the opportunities play out and see the sheet better.
They try not to force anything. Here's a chance early in the period for St. Anne's. You're down by 4, but I think you've played a pretty good structural defensive game if you're Northport Huntington. Just don't try to force anything. Here's a chance for Sorrow. Gloves it down. He's in. For Sorrow. Thrown down. He crashes into the crease. He's patted on the head by Frankaitis. Play goes on. Here's Algieri out in front. Right pad save Frankaitis. Great early shift here for the Tigers, trailing by 4. Puck reversed. Algieri will pick it up along the far wall, right in front of the Friar bench, and a whistle. The net is off its mooring. Wow. Oh, what a hectic start.
Certainly. I'm wondering, do I have a microphone? Can the Northport bench hear me? Because they certainly brought the pressure and the energy that I had been criticizing them about, but nonetheless pressuring St. Anthony's early in this third period.
That's probably their first odd man rush of the game, to your point, Magnus. And I thought maybe they would draw a penalty. Face a shot off the draw eventually comes from Cohen. The first attempt, it looked like he had fanned on or was partially blocked, and second attempt does find its way through to Frankaitis. But a good start to the period for the Tigers, who trail by 4.
Yeah, we're a minute and 3 in, and we've been in the St. Anthony's defensive zone this entire period, which is what you want to see. The puck is getting around. There's a lot of open opportunities. Some shots have gone off, but some great saves. Kudos to Frankaitis, but nonetheless, it'll fall.
Quinn unable to win the draw back cleanly. Friars try to exit the zone, and there's a penalty. Cross check, clear as day. The ref was right on it, as Grayson Henderson took a shot in the back from Catazone. And so Catazone, Anthony, will go off.
And a present for Northport Huntington.
Yeah, quite the break.
So soon in this third period, you already get the power play. Now it's about taking the opportunities that you're given, shorthanded of the Friars, and make the most of it here, and they clear it.
Yep, quick clear and a bouncing puck into the crease of Moscati. Tigers 0 for 1 on the power play in the game thus far. Here is Mikowski. Off the wall, trying to free up Ganesi. Eventually comes back to Mikowski. Passing the skates of Ganesi. Henderson forechecking. Still no zone entry. It's Engelhardt who wears the C for the Friars. Matarese with a delayed penalty. So there'll be a 5-on-3 shot wide. I don't think the Tigers know it. It's covered up. And so a minute and 24 seconds of 5-on-3 hockey is coming, as Kenneth Engelhardt goes off for a high stick. Wow. And timeout for Northport Huntington. Go ahead, Magnus.
Yeah, that's a great decision. You know, this is your chance. You have a 5-on-3. You have about 3 minutes and 20 seconds of it. You have to take every ounce of this. You have to draw up the right play. St. Anthony is extremely shorthanded now. That's 2 less defensemen in the zone. You have to, get some guys open. You're gonna have that opportunity. It's about getting the right shot off, not forcing anything. Play a calm tempo here and explode when the time's right.
So they're gonna draw something up. And typically what coaches will do in this situation is you draw up 2 scenarios. The scenario in which you win the faceoff and the scenario where you lose the faceoff, because that can be a backbone breaker for the team on the power. This faceoff is huge.
Yeah.
Friars win it, clear it. That's at least 20 seconds, if not more, off the clock, and then you're stuck with just a minute. And you have to re-enter the zone, which can also be the most difficult part. We'll see how all this plays out. Ganesi will take the all-important face-off, and it's won by Chero forward, and he clears. As I mentioned, big clear for St. A's on this 5-on-3. Lifted ahead for Quinn, trying to break in 1-on-3. And then when you have 2 extra skaters, you don't want to have a 1-on-3 into the zone, Magnus. Batteries blocked. Fired to the opposite side of the ice. Fernandez. Shot wide. Not a lot of passing so far from Northport Huntington. Matarese. Fernandez. Heads up shot is stopped right into the chest where the SA is of goaltender Frankaitis.
I mean, a fantastic job. If I'm head coach Patrick Russo for this Friar squad, off the faceoff, I have to be extremely pleased. You get the clear right away from Chero, and then down there in the offensive zone, he makes the intelligent decision to not worry about the boards and gets back in transition and gets on defense.
And another instant clear off a faceoff for the Friars, and now forechecking Liam Becker. It's ahead of the stick of Fernandez. Here's Mikowski, and Mikowski just turns it over. And again, just not passing it to each other enough. Or Northport Huntington, now they get a pass through to Denisi. Turns, fires wide. Mikowski on it. Trying to clear St. A's. It's in the skates of Quinn, who put it out in front. Through the crease, save made. One of the power plays has ended. So 5-on-4 now for another 32 seconds. 5-on-3 is ended, and not much generated offensively for Northport Huntington. Big disappointment for them.
Yeah, certainly. When you have the opportunity like you did there, you want to capitalize on it. They couldn't get anything going. A great power kill, or penalty kill, from St. Anthony's to limit the damage and retain their 4-0 lead. That's a little bit gut-wrenching for this Tiger squad, as you had the numbers. You had the play drawn up, and they killed it right away.
Over the blue line, centers one too far ahead of Henderson, who was being checked on the play defensively by Monteleone. And everything has been killed off at this point. As you mentioned, very disappointing for Northport Huntington as a stuff-in try, I believe from Catazone, is in the back of the net. They score another delayed goal here. It's 5-0 Friars. No one on the ice reacted. I can't blame you for not getting a replay, Magnus, as I thought it was just a run-of-the-mill save.
I thought he just, jumped on it, stopped the clock, and then all of a sudden I see St. Anthony's kind of pile up and get excited.
Yeah. It was sort of a surprise you scored kind of thing. Engelhardt from Muller, as Engelhardt rips that one over the net and wide. And so you talk about a back-breaking turn of events. 5-on-3, you get nothing out of it, and now you allow a goal as soon as it ends. Northport Huntington. We'll see if they get anything going offensively here as Augiri takes a chunk out of Monteleone. Judkins had that great play coming back defensively to break up the breakaway for the Friars earlier in the game. Henderson tried to pass one back, but right there to take it away was Schechter. Deflected along by Engelhardt. Fasaro throws one into open space. Nice play. Henderson picks it up. Grayson Henderson runs out of track and flung the puck wide. You could say that the Friars have played with a lot more poise in this game.
Yeah, certainly. It shows there on the forced shot opportunity from the Tigers. And I get, listen, you're about to get a back check there, and you kind of want to get the shot off, but maybe you spin, stop, get back to the blue line, assess what you've got forming in front of you, and try to create something there. No need to shoot something when you don't even have an angle on it.
Shot from Muller, blocked by Augiri. Muller with it once more. Wheeling in the O-zone, sends one back to Gasparic. That shot hit a couple of bodies in front before deflecting up and over. Schechter. Gasparic off the glove of Moscati and wide. Veith. Here's Schechter, loads up, fires, save, rebound, kept out by Moscati. And another stop from the Tiger netminder.
I still have to be a little bit cautious because we've seen, even though it's in the crease and it might be a save, it can still end up in the back of the net, but Moscati walks away with the save here with around 9 to go.
Yeah, the puck has had his knack of kind of disappearing behind Moscati a few times throughout this game, as there's another shot and save by Moscati. Yes.
That's a definite, that one.
Yeah.
Nope.
So
late celebration from the Friars.
Face off to the right of the aforementioned Tigers netminder, one forward by Rivchero. Big games tonight provided by Liam Becker and Anthony Catazone. 2 goals and assists from each of them. 2 assists for Muller as well, as that puck high off the glass out of the zone. Veith on it. Backhands across to Gasparic. Ahead for Adriana Morabito. She is rejected from further entry. Not rejected from further entry was Gasparic. He's now helped out by Morabito. But ultimately, Ronan Driscoll comes away with the puck. Gives it right back to Morabito, who reverses back deep into the Tiger zone.
You know, it's come to the point as the Tigers, you have to play a lot more aggressive, and now it comes, you do have to force things down the sheet and try to create something.
Matarese trying to do just that. Enters the zone, monitored closely by Veith. And a huge hit, kind of behind the play. I sort of missed it. Held in by Driscoll, shot wide off the lively Karam. A turnaround shot from Quinn wouldn't go. Backhand shot wide again. So now even when they get their chances, and then just a smart play, just rip it down the ice for the Friars there. You need the change, you need the reset. They had no problem winning faceoffs either, but again, what I was saying there, Northport Huntington, they get the chances and they go wide.
Yeah, certainly. It's the rushed shots, and I know you start to feel like there's not a lot of time left, especially with a 5-0 deficit, but you just can't be forcing shots from the far boards when the angle's not even there.
Deflected just wide, that time by Ganesi. Good deflection by Ganesi off the shot from Judkins. Meanwhile, Friars bank one ahead. Muller using the speed and taking the body. Save made by Moscati. Judkins with the big hit. And now we got some retaliation, and the bodies are hitting the floor. They're going everywhere. Nothing's happening though in terms of officiating, in terms of no penalties out of that. Nothing too crazy, but seemed like everyone decided to stop going after the puck for a second there. Nothing like we saw in the Tampa, Florida game. Magnus, you read anything about that?
No, I have not. Educate me.
Oh man, it was over 200 minutes of penalties in one game. And I believe one of the team's benches only had 3 players on it by the end. That would be Tampa. This was all in a preseason game.
Set the tone early. Let them know what you're about in the preseason.
Yeah, Florida fans not too happy with it. The Panthers, that is. I think 6 players were thrown out of the game throughout the course of it, if not more. Here's Schechter back to this game. See, we're not seeing it. My whole point there is we're not seeing that here at the Suffolk County High School Hockey League. Chance blocked. Jake DeAndrea took the shot. Fernandez looking for the puck. Ahead, out of the reach of Mikowski. 5:44 left here in the third period, where, there's not been too many whistles, Magnus.
No, certainly they've let them play. We mentioned this earlier, but it's these opportunities trying to get it down the sheet for the Tigers where it's just out of reach of the sticks. We see Moscati misses it there and it goes out of play, but you've got to start to get this down the sheet. Maybe empty net. Why not? Go for it, Obviously not at this point, but you got to start to try things.
Yeah, cheat a little.
Yeah.
But again, that puck into the Northport Huntington bench, the first stoppage of play in quite some time, as a face-off to the left of Moscati. Matarese assuming control. There's nothing like that in baseball, where you can't pull the outfielder for more offense or anything like that, like you can in hockey. But
stuck with what you got.
It's a risk that I wouldn't say is always worth taking. Turnover, score! Johnny on the spot was Ryan Schechter. And we'll actually get a replay on this one because we actually saw the puck go into the net.
Yeah, we know this one is a goal. We won't keep you guys guessing. There's a great job there fighting behind the boards. It gets the net. Just an unfortunate opportunity. The Tigers defenseman didn't see it and put beautifully into the top left corner. And make it a 6-0 lead as we start to see the hopes of possibly a comeback start to dwindle here.
They've dwindled already. They're pretty bleak. And other goals, Gasparic. They're pouring them on. Here they come the goals from the Friars. Last one, Schechter from Morabito.
This one, I believe, was just straight off the face-off. A beautiful stick handling and bottom left right past the extended skate of Moscati, and this lead will continue to grow right off of the ensuing face-off to 7-0.
I mentioned the assist for Morabito.
It was Engelhard with the assist to the goal from Gasparic.
That's her first point of the season. For Griffin Gasparic. He's now up to 4 points. First goal of the year for Griffin. He wants more. Judkins, Engelhart come together now in the far corner. Under 4 to play in the third. Game's been burst wide open here in the last couple of minutes. Those 2 goals coming just 9 seconds apart. Schechter from Morabito, Gasparic from Engelhart.
And that 9 second apart, as you'd mentioned, that goal there kind of sums up what has been working so well for St. Anthony's, their ability to win the faceoff. You win the faceoff, good things happen. You're moving down the sheet effectively with speed, and they have their things together. They understand their play calling. They understand what they've drawn up in practice, and it's worked well for them today.
Scotty will stop the puck as the Friars continue to push the agenda despite the 7-0 edge. They have scored a touchdown and kicked the extra point, and it was good. Pitching the scoreless bout. Fernandez behind Mikowski, picked up by Ganesi. I feel like these two have been the best offensive players for the Tigers in this one. Maybe Quinn as well. He's been rather present. Banked ahead, and a good little stop up to stay onside by Chero. Centering pass goes by Engelhart, or is that Engelhart? 87?
Yes.
All right.
97, 87. No last names.
Nope.
And those watching at home, it did not get into the net despite it being in the crease.
No. Yeah, a couple of surprises that got by Moscati in this one. Came back, started all the way back in the first period. That point shot that got through him. Matarese, nice little step through shot. Save made Frankaitis, who hasn't had to face too many shots, but has been good when tested. Backhanded across and nearly got over to Mikowski, who would have had a great look. Mikowski back on it, thanks to the aggressive play by Matarese. Matarese just can't keep in.
Yeah, unfortunate opportunity. Matarese tries to get something going, doesn't fall.
Been that kind of night for the team in navy blue and yellow. Becker content to just skate it out to center as we approach the final minute plus remaining, minute 58 and counting.
It's been keep away throughout the majority of this third
yeah.
period. Smart decision by the Friars. Not much you could really do. Looks like a older brother, younger brother kind of situation here.
That's what it's turned into for certain, and that kind of has been the theme between these teams, unfortunately. Now, obviously, the Friars, a shot there from Monteleone. Private institution, can obtain players from all over the island, but they do tend to draw a lot from their local counterparts, which take away from the talent of Northport Huntington.
Certainly, yeah.
Directly. Delayed penalty here. It'll be against St. Anne's. Slow to get up and out of the corner. Trying to get a view of the jersey. It is Matteries. And Matteries makes his way over to the Tiger bench. So last 55 seconds of the game. Tigers will have a power play. See if they can put one together. Throw it on the board. Break the dreaded shutout. Is there something like that in baseball? Pitchers are pitching a shutout.
Yeah.
They don't, so can't say announcers. No one can say shutout. All right. There's some carryover there.
It's more of like a morale thing. Get a score on the board here for Northport.
Oh, for sure. But let's say your teammate is pitching a shutout. No one on the bench can say the word shutout.
No, it is a cardinal sin.
Right.
Yeah.
I committed several in the last 45 seconds. So, Peter, I'm sorry if a goal is allowed here.
It's not your fault. It's ours.
It is, yes, that's right. Anderson as it batted away into the corner. I felt comfortable making the claim, though, and now let's get together in the corner. Grayson Henderson, frustrations boiling over. And I don't have an ear on the ice. I don't know what's being thrown out there either.
Certainly don't want it on the broadcast, however.
Probably not. Probably not. So with this game heading to a close, look ahead on the schedule. St. Anthony JV Gold will take on Ward Melville October 10th, just 4 days from now. They get the 7-0 shutout victory. I said it again and again. There you go. Jinx disproven. Anyway, Northport Huntington will take on, their schedule doesn't get much easier. Smithtown Hauppauge JV Red on October the 8th, just 2 days from now on Wednesday. So quick turnaround for the Tigers as things get difficult.
Yes,
don't get easier. That's for certain. Meanwhile, for our broadcast here tonight, that'll wrap us up. Coming up on the schedule, not for the future, but for tonight, another JV matchup. KPC and Ward Melville squaring off at around 9:20. You can head on over to the North Rink action. That's varsity level action between Northport Huntington and Pat Med. So why not head over and see what the varsity team's doing? As for this game, that's about it.
Yeah, certainly. Not much to say from the St. Anthony side. You took care of business. You came in, did what you need to do. Certainly played well on all sides in transition. A great game in goal as well. Yeah, a lot of happy things to walk away with you. 3-0. Continue this momentum down the stretch.
Well, I couldn't have said it better, and that'll do it. So, from Magnus Healy and our cameraman Walter Mitchell, I'm Ryan Brownigan saying so long and good night. Final score, 7-0 St. A's over Northport Huntington. Till next time, have a good night.